Yeah. Hello, everybody. As a player, I don't know. As a character, I've just committed some brutal murder. But it was for the good of the group. So I'm really digesting what that means for me. uh, who that I helped with some earlier, but this was like quick and like the blood is only on my hands at this one. The other one was a group effort. Yeah. Right. Right. It's true. There's definition questions. And I thought about it a lot this week. Like that it was a very quick, it felt quick, but I've come to really love this group and I felt like I had to stand up to do more to protect them. Yeah. And as a player, just hanging in there with my crew. Yeah. Yeah.
Valerian is super proud of Cashinon. She does not think what Cashinon did was murder. She thinks it is totally justified and super great, and was like super impressed with her monk moves. I think Valerian is just going to be all about trying to stop the puppet human babies. I think she's into stopping that. Maybe someone will finally explain to her the whole puppet human baby situation because she's still pretty confused about it. As a player, I'm here. Let's do this thing.
Well, what I'm hoping we can expect from Scott is a more committed and consistent Southern accent. Working on that. It pops in and out. I forget how to do it. Zep, I think he's looking for some pranks, looking for some fun in here. Even though there's a bit of blood, it hasn't quite gotten into his head, the horror of it all. But I'm sure maybe that'll come out today too. Oh no.
Oh my god, what a show.
Mm.
It's just
Hold on a second. Let me get the stream up and see what's happening in it. I'm going to mute myself while I do that.
good call.
What a pal.
Should we talk?
Oh, should we? Yeah. Oh, we should probably talk for Nate. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so that Nate
That's
knows.
a good test.
I reckon we should do some talking.
Cole's Dar.
On this side.
Talk in your southern accent, Zep. Talk in your accent.
Oh yeah, I'll talk in my accent. Do you think I should call everyone Shug?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm into it.
I think you should work in the term perspire as much as possible. That just makes perspire.
It's your audio, Danny. They can hear all of us.
Oh.
Oh.
Hey, now they can hear me. Can you hear me now, Nate? I realized I had my mic turned all the way down.
Really?
Oh, okay. Let me see. I'm going to mute myself again. So this is good. Good stream.
So can other people talk too? Because I just added an audio output, so they might be hearing everybody double, which would be insane.
Whoa.
Oh, can you hear me double?
Or maybe just single.
Or maybe a little triple.
Perspired about quadruple.
Oh, shrug.
How do I mute the meeting for a second?
I think Danny has to because he's the meeting owner.
No. I mean, just from my end.
It's clear that I don't understand anything about
Press
this.
mute at the corner of your box.
It mutes me.
You could leave the computer audio, I think, entirely, and then I think.
But then you wouldn't be able to hear the stream through the computer.
Oh, we can't hear you.
This is going to be great streaming content. Everybody, give it 20 seconds.
Yeah. Just give us a second, all right?
Well, so I can tell what this is versus what the YouTube is, because you're all talking on both of them, so I can't tell what's what.
Hold on, I have it. I'm gonna put it up on my phone.
Let me see if there are any more comments on it.
Okay, I think people can hear him twice.
Oh Jesus! Sorry, I had a double.
Okay. So I fixed it. I think everybody can. I just heard myself, and I think now everybody's hearing single of you guys. I think we're there.
Cool.
We're in it. I'm gonna check the chat real quick to see if people are killing me. Oh, it says yes, double. I should be. I should have been reading the chat the whole time.
Guys, so far this is going really well.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Thanks, chat. Okay.
This is the exact kind of hijinks that Zep would love.
Yeah, this is getting real meta for Zep. Okay, well, there was a lot of backstory that we just went through. There was a lot of internal stuff we just went through group. We're going to do it for Nate and Sheila, but I'm going to let Carrie, Tina, and Scott just give a brief run through of what we already kind of went through. Give us the keynote points of where your character's at, where you're at right now. We'll do it real quick, and then Nate and Sheila just be ready to go with the question I'm going to ask. All right, Carrie, go for it. Carrie, as Cashinon, what are we looking for this week?
So Cashinon is fresh off of some possible murder. She used a short sword to kill a goblin who she perceived as a threat, and then punched a puppet thing, and it's the most violent thing she's ever done, but she was protecting her crew. So she's thinking about that, but she feels pretty good about it. And yeah, I'm just excited to move forward as a group who's having a lot of fun.
Great. External conflict, internal conflict, love it. Tina and Valerian, what's good with you?
Valerian is confused pretty much all the time, but she's not confused about Cashinon. She thinks that Cashinon totally crushed it. Super proud of her for taking out the enemy. And I came to play.
Love it. All right, Scott and Zep.
Want to pull some pranks? Have a compelling Southern accent.
Love it. Great. Nate as Quentin Halsteyer, going by Halsteyer on this island.
Yeah. So Quentin's realizing, I think, or he's just this moment realized that he's with a much more powerful group than he may have initially thought. And I'm used to group dynamics, especially trying to accomplish goals together. So this is just I feel like this is more like tools in our toolkit. So anybody murdering anyone, as long as they're good at it, seems fine with me. And as far as me, what I'm trying to bring is a little bit more barding. I feel like last time I was pretty light on the barding. It's a new class to me, so I'm gonna try to work some in.
Love it. And Sheila as Pando, how are things going?
Getting my sea legs out here. Literally, Zep and I came on a boat, and we were in a bunch of barrels, and so it's been an adjustment. I think initially there was some potential for conflict between me and Kashanon because of our, our differences, ultimately our similarities. And I'm just like, I'm really passionate about like booby traps, and I'm very good at figuring them out. So I'm kind of hoping for like more of a challenge this go round, so I can figure out some booby traps, and just let the power of the forest speak through me. And I might start an accent soon too once I
Great.
figure out
I
what
love it. I think we just
Simple.
we just roll with it.
Yeah, booby traps and spirit of the forest speaking through me. Just regular goals.
Yeah, super regular goals. All right, so for those of you who may have watched the one episode and then missed the other two, I don't know how you missed them. I never published them.
This is a very
But
George Lucas thing to do.
what's that?
It's like, this is the 4th episode. You haven't seen the first 3, but don't worry, eventually you will.
Yeah, I'll get
that's
them
a
out
Star
there.
Wars reference.
It'll be like backstory to this, but we're in the land of Talus. This group has found themselves on an island of Mundo Harbor. It is an island predominantly dominated by a halfling society, but there are also goblins on the far side. Those goblins started coming to the eastern nib of the island. The island is shaped like a crescent, and one nib is on the east. This is what the halflings call it. And they were doing some shady things. So our group, which originally started with Kashanon, Valerian, and Halsdire, were tasked to go check out a cave of what was going on there. They found some goblins on their way to that cave who were carrying all different forms of puppet implements. And they found a rat puppet, lots of weird puppet stuff going on, and they found a giant leg as well of puppet material. They ambushed the goblins. One got away and made his way into the cave. When they went to the cave, they found a couple of barrels, which they had found one barrel previously and found a dead human inside of it, though it looked like the human was not supposed to be dead. These two barrels actually held two living people in them, a human by the name of Zep Wildchaser, played by Scott, and a wood elven druid by the name of Pando. As Pando mentioned, she is a wood elf from one continent, while Kashanon is a high elf from another, and there's usually some bad blood between the two, but they seem to be getting along very well. Our half-elven bard led the charge into the cave, sniffing around with his wolf, and Valerian was able to crush and catch. The Triton barbarian was able to crush and catch what appeared to be an alarm system as a small clockwork rat. This was when a trap was sprung. Despite the fact that Pando, really great at booby traps, was able to disarm it, a trap was sprung by a goblin who heard them coming because they're not doing much to prevent them from being found. They dodged the trees that fell, the lumber logs that fell mostly, and as we've said, Kashanon stabbed a goblin through the neck and punched a living puppet through the chest. Zep, being able to read Goblin, found a note on this goblin that seemed to be mapping out what if it had a hat, and the puppet was inscribed with the name of a goblin. Although the living goblin, now dead, was calling it Alex, its name was Floldy. At the time, they are not at the mouth of the cave, but a little bit deeper into it, and that is where we enter with our party today.
Ooh-wee. What a swipe of the sword, Kashanon.
I can't believe it. Is everyone okay? Is everyone all right?
Yeah,
They didn't.
I'm trying to take it all in right now.
They didn't get close to us.
Great. I loved everything you did. That sweet move where you just went right for the neck. It was awesome.
Yeah, I didn't even think really. I just moved. I never just move. I'm always thinking. So that felt.
No, you sometimes just gotta move. You just gotta move.
I think the neck was an interesting choice. It wasn't the wrong choice. There were just so many other ways you could have done it. Like, I feel like you could have gone from the back or from underneath, but that was really cool to see.
I'm just going to say this right now. We should probably do notes later, and get moving through the cave, everyone.
All right. Let me just catch my breath.
Me too. I jumped up here and I pulled a mighty prank, but I'm a little worn out myself. I think let me clean up myself a little too. I'm covered in blood, but it's not my own, so that's good.
Yeah. Does everyone want to do like a quick shoulder stretch? Just
I think I agree with Hallstar that we should maybe just walk.
We can walk and stretch.
Maybe some head rolls while you walk.
Stretch.
Okay, can I have the party all make for me a perception check?
That's never a good prompt.
Natural 1.
Ooh, I got me a 7.
12 plus 15.
Ooh, I have 18.
Drum roll. I'm loading because I forgot to press start. Okay, I'm doing 8 plus perception.
And quick, perceive.
Where do you? Oh no.
In the piece, if you go straight down your column.
8 plus 4.
12. Okay. So the only two people who notice this sound with any chance to do anything about it are Kashanon and Zep. And you hear and actually Kashanon, you look off to your right. And if you see the map, which our audience now sees as well, if you're looking at Roll20, Kashanon, you... we'll say for the purposes of this that you have started to move. So you are actually up a little bit further. And from over here, if you see my little ping, you see a flash of light. And then you see a glowing red object come lobbing up at you. I need for... we'll say that so Zep, I'm going to move you up here too, because you would have rolled high enough to do that. You guys were on the move. The two of you to make a Dex saving throw, as well as Pando. If you could all make Dexterity saving throws.
Sure. What does that mean exactly?
Okay, so if you look at your character sheet, there will be a saving throw column, and one of them will say Dexterity. Box. And it's so what's going to happen is something is about to happen to you, and whether or not it does anything to you is determined by your roll. So if you roll successfully, then something happens. If you roll unsuccessfully, then something worse happens. So the three of you, what were your rolls?
I rolled a 7.
I got 12.
I got a 17.
Okay, great. So Pando, even though you don't see it coming, Kashanon, there's a moment where you're kind of able to like armbar her out of the way and alert it, and you look over just as what appears to be a lobbing ball of fire almost and it comes flipping over, and Zep, even though you heard it, you do still take the damage from it. You guys are able to shield yourselves and take no damage. Zep, you are going to take 6 points of fire damage as a firebomb explodes around you and the shrapnel flies all around.
I only have 9. Uh-oh.
All right, so revealing your map a little bit more from that exchange, you guys are able to see a little bit of action happening down here. This is a 20-foot drop over here. Actually, I have to switch back to this. So this ledge here is a 20-foot drop, but you see that there is a ladder there. Just so you know, if you were to drop down there without any kind of like climbing down, even like climbing the rocks or something like that, you can use a bit of your movement to do that. But if you just fell off of that, you would take 1d6 worth of damage per 10 feet. So just so you're aware there. This is what you see. There are 2 goblins, and there are some more puppet carcasses, for lack of a better term, on the ground there. This puppet, who I'll change the color here for you, is up and alive, and seems to be moving in the same way that a different one, the other one that you saw, had been. And at this point, I need everyone to roll initiative, including a special guest.
Oh shit.
Justin, they have not seen you yet. And they don't know anything about you yet, but if you can roll initiative for me, please. And you'll have a proper introduction coming up.
Am I doing Harrow and Grib?
No, you're just doing Harrow, if that's cool. I'll do Grib.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I got a 17 on initiative. And hi, Justin.
Hi, guys.
I rolled a 3.
Okay, hang on 1 second. So anybody roll between 25 and 20?
No.
Did anyone roll between 20 and 15?
I did.
You were 17?
Mm-hmm.
Hang on.
Harrow is a 15.
I'm sorry? Harrow is a?
15.
Okay, great.
Oh, Nate, you got new art. Where's your cow?
Oh, it's going to be different every week.
I love that.
Okay, 15 to 10, or 14 to 10.
I
Well,
got 11.
Okay, and 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Pando, what are you?
I got a 5.
Okay. And then Zep, you were a 4?
3.
3. I think it fits with you getting hit by the fire bomb.
Panda, Sheila, you know that you add your dex to initiative?
Oh, there we are. Okay. Oh, so dexterity is the same as initiative.
Yeah, you have a little box that says initiative, like in the middle top. It looks like a little.
I'll take it
elongated
back.
hexagon.
I'm a full-fledged 9 now.
Okay.
Sorry.
That
Thank you.
does not change your initiative order. So we're we're good, but thank you.
Pretty well.
Okay, fantastic. So, looking at our map here, you start to hear some noises coming from an area that you cannot currently see. And then stepping up into the area, you see this giant hulking machine walk in.
Easy.
Can I have Kashanon, Vlarin, and I would say Hallsteyer, you actually can't see this. But Kashanon and Vlarin, can you roll perception checks for me, please?
Zep, those are some nice shoes you're wearing.
I got 16.
Thanks.
Vlarin?
14.
Okay, you both immediately recognize that this is a huge, like, hulking machine, and it seems to be, like, pieced together with, like, puppet parts and things like that. It's like an eclectic bunch of materials, but in the heart of the machine, kind of as its head, is a goblin with one goggle on. And the other one seems to be like kind of broken and busted off and smoking. He's got this sneer, and in the corner of his mouth is a cigar burning. And just by the brief look that you got at him earlier, this is Grib. But Grib was not in a goblin mechanized suit before, and he is now.
The Grib is
He
the
is
one
going.
that ran away.
Yes, exactly. He is going to spend his turn moving up there, and he is then going to he is going to cast a spell on this goblin here, and you see that a spell has been cast on that guy. And that'll be his turn. Cool. So moving on to our next person, Hallsdyer, you are up.
Okay. This little, I'm going to go ahead and point to it if I can. Spot on the map. Can I get that revealed? Do we know what that looks like? This.
You sure can. Yeah, it's a wall. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah. Is that better?
Okay. All good. Yeah. Is there any coverage I can take up here while also being able to like duck behind and shoot?
Yeah, I would say I would allow you to be in this space and do that because you could be kind of like up against the wall, and technically Scott is occupying this space at the moment. But I would let it, if you occupied this space here, I would say that there's like a little bit of wall you can kind of press yourself up against.
All right, I'm gonna move to there.
Okay, I'll move you.
Okay, there we are. And do I have an attack as well?
Yeah, you have a movement, an attack, and a bonus action.
Okay, so let me go ahead and use my light crossbow.
Okay.
Which is, let me roll to see if I hit. I'm going to aim at, so I can't see far enough to see Grib, can I?
You can now. Moving up there, you can see him.
Okay, I'm going to aim at Grib up there. aim at his one uncovered eye.
Okay.
And let me see. I roll this 20. Yeah, natural 1.
Okay, so moving up there, Hallsdyer, you're kind of shaken by the sight of this. You kind of fumble to get the crossbow up, and then the bolt just kind of like sadly goes and just like rolls off the edge of the side there. You do not hit him at all. Is there anything else you'd like to do with your bonus action?
I'd love to duck back behind the rock, out of harm's way.
Okay, great. So that is, you can actually move back if you would like to. You still have movement left.
I'll move back.
Okay, you should have control over your token, so if you want to move.
Okay, I'm going to move right back here, away or out of the space.
Yeah, perfect. Great. All right, next up is Harrow. And just so you know, I will reveal the map so you can see yourself, Justin. You are this little goblin with the ninja mask.
I do have control. How exciting.
You do have control, yeah.
Grib, is there one of them you would like me to hit more than any of the other ones? They seem to be within javelin chucking distance. I suppose I'll take your word into account.
Grib will say, we'll wait till Grib's turn for, no, he'll say,
guide my hand, Grib. Act like the leader you have been designated as.
He'll say, hit the one they already hit with the bomb.
Very well. I chuck one of my many javelins across the Great Way.
Okay.
Using my mighty macro, which I built just now.
Fantastic. I'm going to move you up to be able to do that.
Thank you.
If that's okay. You also can move, but I think that would be fine. And you should have a shot. He's talking about Scott there, so you should have a shot there. I will say that Scott, You'll be firing at him with some cover, because remember, this is 20 feet up, And just from your javelin, I'm not going to give you disadvantage on the roll, but I am going to give him a bonus to AC.
Very well. Because I am a seasoned chucker of the javelin, I rolled a 22 against armor class. Surely more than enough to strike that little thing.
Zep, what's your armor class?
Oh, man. I'm sure it doesn't go that high. 16 is what it is.
What's that?
16.
16. Okay, I gave you a +5 to armor class. Just barely he is able to hit it. So go ahead and roll for damage.
Already did. 3 piercing damage strikes your breast. The Plunder King shall take your blood, tiny thing.
I got a case of the vapors.
What you've learned about Harrow is that he can say a lot in 6 seconds. For those of you unseasoned with D&D, turns are supposed to be 6 seconds, and I love everything that's happening, so we're going to allow it.
Noted.
Valerian.
Reaction, baby.
I'm at 0 right now.
Oh, you are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what you guys see then is Zep passes out. And falls to the ground unconscious. Now, if anybody heals him, he will be able to get back up and he'll be able to operate normally again. If you don't, every time his turn comes around, he's going to have to make a death saving throw. If he fails them, if he rolls below a 9 or below, he'll get 1 step closer to death. 3 failures, and he's permanently dead. 3 successes, and he's stabilized and no longer bleeding out, but he's still unconscious. But at any points of healing will bring him back up. So if anybody has the ability to heal him, you can do that.
So the way you might heal is if you are a spellcaster and you have a healing spell. If you have a potion of healing, know that you are giving him the potion is your whole turn. So like you would go over there and spend your turn like coaxing it down his throat, which is totally good. I'm all for it. But those are sort of your options to save him. And Danny, does everybody have a potion of healing?
Everyone has a potion of healing. That's correct. Okay, Valerian, your turn.
So can I sort of immediately, without spending my turn investigating or perceiving, tell what is the thing in the middle? Is it a drum? Is it a fire?
This thing?
Yeah.
That's a barrel.
That's a barrel.
Yeah.
Do I have any sort of immediate gut sense of whether this is like where the stuff is going down or?
Oh yeah, you can see all of this. Yeah, you can see what's going on here.
I mean, like we've been talking about like the like area where they're making the puppet babies. Does this seem like they're making the human puppet babies here?
You can see that there are discarded puppets around there, so this might be one place that they're doing that, yes.
Okay. Then I would like to move to the edge. I don't want to go down the ladder yet.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go just past it because
Perfect.
And then I would like to rage, please.
Yeah, by all means.
Okay, so for those who haven't seen me rage yet, I'm very beautiful. In case you forgot, I am just exquisite. And then I go into a rage, and without waking up my IRL baby who is sleeping, and it just like beautiful watery hair goes like electric nuts. I like am throbbing, all like the veins are popping out of the neck, whole thing. And I would like, hold on. Do I lose my rage if I
You have to attack or be attacked.
But I can attack from a distance.
Yeah, of course. You can throw a javelin.
Great. Then I am going to throw a javelin. Given our new rules about what I can say, I'm going to say something right before I rage. I'm going to be like, Pando, heal him. And then I'm going to run past her, go to the end. I have a javelin too, jerk. And then I would like to throw my javelin. I'm going to say at Harrow. And I am not used to throwing a javelin, so I am...
It's your strength modifier.
22 to hit.
22, I believe, does hit Harrow.
Indeed.
And then I am doing 6 points of damage.
Great. Harrow, you have taken 6 points of damage. You see the javelin kind of just arc perfectly. It doesn't stab into him by any means, but he's a shielded. You see him now as a form. This is not something that you've seen before. This is a taller, almost human-shaped goblin. He has. Do you have an idea of what you want your character to look like, Justin? Or do you want me to describe it? Would you like me to describe the character, or would you like to describe
I would be happy to describe him.
Okay.
Harrow stands roughly 6 feet tall. He has poise, unlike these slathering goblins adjacent to him. Almost a butler-esque poise to him, like a military butler. Like like Alfred got some ninja training in him, and he stands kind of proudly but somewhat deferentially in front of Grib, and he does a lot of heavy sighs and eye rolls. Fine toss, Genasi.
Great. She's actually a Triton, but...
My bad. I assumed because you were blue, you were one of the...
That's fair.
So many races.
It's D&D. Kashanon, you are up.
Oh, geez. Okay. What can I do first? I can move closer to the edge, right? Where Valerian is?
Yeah, you certainly can.
All right. I'd like to go up next. Oh, wait. I can do that. Boop, boop. Like there? Oh, no. There?
Perfect. You can also use your movement to get down if you want. You could go down that ladder.
Oh. Safely?
Yeah. I would say because you're a monk, I would let you use 5 feet of movement to kind of like badass just scale your way down. Other characters might have to make a check to do that kind of thing, but I would just treat it as one space for you because you're a monk and that's what they do.
Sweet. All right. I'm gonna bad A. Let me sit down the
Great.
there. Okay. And then can I, is that it? Or can I do?
No, you moved 5, 10. You probably have 2 more squares of movement.
Oh, to get a little closer. I don't know. I'm getting scared. Valerian, I'm scared. Pando, have you healed him yet? This is what I'm saying.
I'm working on it.
No fear.
I'm sorry if I broke your game mechanics by allowing talking.
No, I'm all about it.
Talking's better than not talking.
Yeah.
All right. So from that distance, Kashanon, if you would like to, you can throw a boomerang at this puppet, this goblin, or Harrow. Actually, anybody that you see up here.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a boomerang at Harrow.
Okay.
I didn't want to be here that long anyway.
What do I...
Wait, why are you making guests be against us?
What's that?
Never mind.
Because it's fun.
What do I do?
What's
D20?
That? Yeah, roll a D20, and then I believe you add 7 to that roll. And
great. So then I got 22.
Okay, you do hit, and that is a 6. Remember, when you hit with a boomerang, it doesn't come back.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to roll a D6 and then add 5. Yeah, dude.
11.
What kind of min-max nonsense is this?
11.
11.
Oh.
Okay. So you scale down, you go down on the rope. You see this exchange where he's assuming Valerian's race while getting hit with a javelin, and you immediately just kind of like land and throw the boomerang around in the same way that you killed a goblin before. It comes and hits him on the way back, and Harrow, it just knocks you in the back of the head. And I believe you're starting to feel some damage now, yeah?
Is this because I called her Genasi? I'm sorry.
It might have been. Okay, and then that's going to bring us to Pando. You're up.
All right. Which I'm the purple person? No, I'm the green person.
Yeah, you're the green person,
I'm
and
the
you're
green person.
standing next to Zep. So if you did want to heal him, and I believe you have Cure Wounds, you can cast that spell.
I feel like I should heal Zep. We
Great.
came here together and, just like trees heal each other in the forest. I should do that.
Okay. So
do.
to cast Cure Wounds, I believe you roll a d8 plus your Wisdom modifier, which I think for your character is a 4. So I think you're gonna roll 1d8 plus 4. And if that's wrong, it's okay now.
It's a whopping 6.
No, that's great. That's I
great.
believe 2/3 of his health at this point.
Oh,
So
no.
Zep, you are prone, so you're lying on the ground, but you are back up at this point.
Sweet.
Zep, do you hear me?
Okay.
Freak it out.
So that brings us to the goblins' turn. The two basic goblins here. This one will run up to Kashanon and will attack in just a second. And then this one is going to run up and stand in front of Harrow. There. And almost as kind of protection and looking at you, he will go ahead and throw a firebomb up at Valerian and only at Valerian. So Valerian, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, and in the meantime, I will attack Carrie. So the goblin runs up to you and sees you throw the boomerang, and you can see in its eyes that it is just kind of fascinated by the boomerang. It watches it the whole time and watches it hit Harrow and just like almost forgets to look and then just comically swings in front of you and misses because he's just fascinated by the boomerang. The other goblin, what was your dex save?
18.
18. Okay, so he throws the firebomb and it just kind of comes up to the lip and blows up in front of you, but you're able to put the shield up and you take no damage from
I'm a fish.
I hope that's a catchphrase in the making. Zep, you are awake. You can use half of your movement to stand up, but you are able to get into this if you'd like.
I'm gonna get up and then run away screaming.
Okay,
As
you
I
have
can.
control over your character, so where would you like to move?
I'm gonna wait. How many squares can I move?
You can move 5 squares.
Is that from the magical land of Texas?
Yeah. No, from Georgia. A common mistake, though. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go into this wandering area.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can now start to see that.
And I'm just gonna be screaming, I looked into the void and I hate it! Ah!
Would you like to attack, Zep? Because you, I believe, have a crossbow and can fire it if you want.
I'm just gonna punch this wall.
Fair point.
I'm sorry, freaking out. I wish I could do better.
Understood. Love it. Okay, that is your turn. It is now going to be this puppet's turn. It will also amble its way up to Kashanon. What you notice about this puppet, Kashanon, as it comes up to you is it's a little bit more floppity than the last one. Like its head doesn't seem to be on straight. And if you remember, the last one was very robotic and had a sword and a pipe. This one's very kind of flaily and floppity, and you see that one arm is just like a cat of 9 tails, essentially, and the other arm is just like flopping next to it. So it walks up and kind of like almost zombie style uses its whole body to throw and try an attack on you. And comically misses as well. The whip kind of comes towards you, but you're able to kind of monk punch it out of the way, and everything is fine. We get back to the initiative order, and this is going to be Grib's turn. Grib is going to walk up, stepping over this body part here. He's going to use his action to take this barrel, which I can't really show, but he's going to be carrying this barrel. He's going to walk up to here.
Is he going to drop it on a plumber?
And that'll be his turn. He is now carrying the barrel and moving that direction. Sorry, did you say something, Tina?
I was making a Donkey Kong joke. Never mind, keep going.
Oh, no. Yeah, by all means, please continue to make Donkey Kong jokes. Halsdyer, you're up. And on deck will be Harrow.
Okay, so I tripped last time trying to shoot Grib. So I'm going to just go ahead and repeat my exact move.
So you're moving up here?
I'm moving up there. Mm-hmm. I'm preparing a crossbow, and I am firing at Grib.
Great. Go ahead and roll for an attack.
All right. I had a 13. Yeah, 13.
Okay, 13. You fire it, and it sticks into the barrel that he is carrying there. So you did hit the target, but it did no damage.
Aw.
Would you like to move again?
Yep. I'm going to go back out of harm's way.
Got it. Sounds good. Harrow, you are up.
Wise move to retreat. And Harrow raises his left hand and points to the Triton and says, you there! I have failed to show you due respect, but now I ask that you show me respect. And if you could please roll a wisdom saving throw for me, Valerian.
Sure. Natural 20. Thank you.
Well, if you don't want to fight me, then never mind. He tried to compel duel you, but he failed.
Got it. Great. Valerian, you're going to be up, but can I have you guys just talk amongst yourself for a second? I very much need to go to the bathroom in the middle of the stream. I'm going to run. We'll get back to Valerian's turn in just a second.
Good timing. Compel duel is a bonus action, so I will still get to throw a javelin, but I will do it later.
Okay. Well, she should be able to tell you her AC and damage, so if you guys want to roll that while I'm gone, that's fine.
Sure. Well, eventually... Well, perhaps not, but I can tell you to take this. And he throws a javelin, and we click the old button. 19 against AC, but I think you guys you're high up, right? So I think you got the +5 to armor class.
Yeah, I'm 18 without a plus.
What? Y'all are crazy.
Barbarian with a shield.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry. Well, never mind. Once again, luckily. And he shakes his back. I have a lot of these to throw.
Where are you getting these from?
You just turned from punching a wall to like engage in conversation.
I've gotten engaged again. Yeah.
Rest assured, little man, if you hadn't punched that wall, I would have thrown that javelin right at you. But you seem to be farther away.
I'm gonna punch you in the nose. That's what I'm gonna do.
I beg you to try.
Oh, come over here and tell me that. It's in my face.
Boy, I'm going to compel duel you like to all hell next turn. You and me, buddy.
I'm gonna kick you in the groin.
Luckily, I have a groin plate protecting my most delicate hobgoblin parts.
I'm gonna cast a lightning bolt on it.
I sincerely doubt it.
I have that. I'm a cleric. I can do that.
I don't think you can.
Well, see about that.
Surely you're not at a high enough level to cast lightning bolt.
I got something that sounds like a lightning bolt. I got a,
This is why the DM should never leave the table. I don't know what's happening, and I don't think any of it's by the book.
I missed.
You missed? Okay.
If
Comically
it's possible,
so?
He threw a javelin at me with many saucy words. I don't know where the javelin ended up, but if possible, and it's not like out of the way, I'd like to retrieve it so I can take it down there and stab him with it. But
what did you roll, Harrow?
19.
Yeah, I would say that it like stuck into the side of the cliff with a roll, because that's fairly accurate, but
And the question is, Danny, which technically you need to rule on because my AC is 18. Do I get a +5 because of the difference?
Oh, okay.
Or a +1 in this case is really the question.
I will take a look. I will say he has a better angle on you than before. What is that? That would be within range of his javelin, actually. Yeah, so that would hit you.
Oh, great. So
Yeah.
you hit me.
But it would do half damage.
But you seem to be raging.
I do seem. So it'll do quarter damage for me then.
Half.
Quarter? Impressive.
No, wait.
I'm saying because you're raging, it'll do half.
Oh, I thought because it was. Never mind. I'm with you. Yeah, so half. Yes, I am raging. Tell me my damage.
4 damage.
Thank you.
Did you reduce it already, Harrow?
Sorry?
Was it 4 on the dice, or did you reduce it?
It was 8 on the dice. I already reduced it.
Awesome. Great. All right. So now we're up to Kashanon.
I'm sorry. Can I know where he javelined me?
Yeah, I'd say from that 4 points of damage, it kind of like glanced your midsection, and then the javelin continued next to you and landed.
Okay.
All right, Vlaren, you're up. I'm sorry. Yes, Vlaren's up.
It's my turn. Okay.
Kashanon, you're up.
I want to go down and get into things. Can you tell me how far I'm allowed to get? I'm still unclear how many.
Yeah, it's a 20-foot ladder down. I would say you're raging. You can probably make it to either of these squares, but because you have combatants there, the furthest I think you could make it is here.
Okay, and big dude's here. I'm sorry, you can't see my thing. This is, I don't know how to.
Just hold the mouse click, and I should be able to see what you're talking about.
That guy. Is that Harrow? That's the guy in front of Harrow.
Yeah, Harrow's the one with the ninja face. This is Harrow.
Got it. Okay. Then I will come down, and since it's in my way, I will help Kashanon with that dude.
Great. Where do you want to do it from? You can do it from this square or this square.
The further square, please.
Got it. All right, go ahead and roll for attack.
I would like to this time stab him with my trident.
Yeah, of course.
It is a 17 to hit.
That hits.
And 9 points of damage.
Okay. These are the little goblins that you're quite used to. He's still kind of looking and like marveling at the boomerang that had gone by, which leaves his neck and top of his chest very much exposed. You take your trident and just kind of like down into him, and it's almost like a swift like motion. He doesn't even like get stuck on it or anything like that. Before he can even notice, he starts to bleed out of the dots.
And I'm just yelling and like essentially killing him and passing as I'm running on.
Yeah,
to, like...
it is like it's almost like you just stapled a stack of papers, but it was a goblin. Yeah. So he's toast. That's your turn. Kashanon, you're up. And Pando, you're on deck.
So is this puppet actually, could he do any damage with all the floppityness?
Yeah, I mean it actually seems to be female. And she seems to be trying to attack you. She is definitely small and like only up to about your knee. But has a very long kind of whip for an arm. So yeah, it looks like it's trying to do damage to you.
Okay, could I then attack her
Yeah.
first now? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I got 20.
Natural 20 or
natural 20. Natural 20.
Okay, that's a critical hit. So you're going to roll damage, but you're going to double the die that you roll, but then add your 5 only once. So whatever you roll on the dice.
And is that D6?
Yeah, that's a D6 because that's with your sword.
I got 2.
So that's a 4 plus 5, which is 9.
Yeah.
So you take the sword, and it actually, like, as it's moving its whip back around, the whips actually kind of get wrapped around the sword, and you kind of yank it up and then swipe down. So it rips its arm out of its socket and then completely kind of bisects the rest of it, and the puppet falls lifeless. Next to that, you hear again the same kind of like noise that you heard from the puppet before. Now, you still have movement, and as a monk, you get a bonus action to punch something. So you could move up and punch Grib and the mech suit, or this goblin. You probably can't quite get to Harrow because he's being protected right now.
Oh my goodness. I'm really nervous. I'm really scared of Grib. But I guess I feel like he can just kill me, right? But I'll just punch him. I'll just try to punch him. So wait, I can go.
Okay, you want to
A
punch
great
him?
image.
I can go like there?
Yep.
Okay.
Roll a d20 plus 7.
D20. Oh dear. I got 1.
A natural one?
Yeah.
Okay. So right after hitting that puppet, and you kind of run up, and you're thinking to yourself, like, I don't know what I'm going to do to this thing. And you kind of like punch, and it hurts. I mean, you punch this robot in its kneecap, and you're like, punching metal hurts. And I don't think I did anything. And you're right, you didn't. Pando, you are up, and then that puts the goblins on deck, and then Zep is after that for those keeping track at home. So Pando, you're up here. You can move 5 squares, and you can use your attacks. I believe you have some ranged. I think you have a bow. I think you have some spells.
Ooh, okay. I will move 5 squares.
Okay.
Let's see. What can I do?
I would say you can actually, if you use your whole movement, get down the ladder if you want to.
I want to be down where everyone else is.
You want to?
Yes.
Well, where the women are.
Yes.
Got it. Cool.
There we are.
So I've moved you over there, and then what would you like to do? I believe you have the entangle spell, which is something you can use. You can also shoot a bow.
I want to do the entangle spell.
Okay. Let me look that up and just remember how that works. But you should have on your sheet, it should tell you how to do that as well.
Okay.
Okay, so the range is 90 feet, and grasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground in a 20-foot square. Starting from the point within range, during the duration, these plants turn the ground into the area into difficult terrain. A creature in the area, when you cast a spell, must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by the entangling plants until it is over, and they have to roll against your spell DC, which we'll find out in just a second. So Pando, if you cast that spell here, you would be able to hit. You would basically cover this whole area. I don't know if you can see that square that I'm drawing.
Yeah.
And then you would entangle all of these people.
Okay. That feels good.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So I will roll their saving throws. The Grib and his suit are currently restrained, meaning that they cannot move from their current spot. What's your spell save DC? What is your wisdom modifier where it says your wisdom score if you go to abilities?
It's +2.
+2. Okay, so that means your save is going to be 12. So this goblin here also does not succeed. And Harrow, what did you roll for a
what kind of saving throw is it? Wisdom?
Strength.
Or
strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw. I'm sorry, I didn't know I was in range. I highly doubt I'll be entangled, but I suppose it's entirely possible. One moment, please. Oh, 20, non-natural. Get these vines out of here.
Yeah, so you see these vines kind of sprout up around you, and you're able to kind of like sidestep away from them and just swipe with your longsword a few of them. The goblin in front of you, though, is what's kind of like frenzied and like kind of ticking and looking like he's going to light another bomb, but the vines tangle up and around his arms. What you immediately notice, though, is that Grib is having trouble moving the mech, and it's entirely entwined in vines at the moment. All right, that'll be Pando's turn, because I don't believe you have any bonus actions at this point. This goblin will actually go... no, he's restrained, so he cannot move. And I'll say that he is going to throw that firebomb at disadvantage. He's going to throw it in this direction, so that means that I will have everybody there, and that's going to be Pando, Kashanon, and Vlarin. Can you roll a dexterity saving throw at advantage? Meaning you're going to roll a d20 twice. Tell me the best number plus your dex saving throw score.
17.
I got 19 plus 7, so 26.
That does not succeed, Carrie. That was a terrible roll.
God, it's crazy. A +7. Gosh.
I had 12 plus 4, so 16.
Okay, so all of you can see that he kind of like moves and tries to throw it, and it like the bomb gets out of his hand, but it kind of just like rolls sadly and just goes poof, around it, and you guys all easily dodge it, no problem, and you take no damage from that firebomb. Zep, Mr. Wild Chaser, you're up. You're punching a wall. You can hear the sounds of battle around you. You see the Triton woman that you saw was struck by her beauty. She's now just striking down goblins. Kashanon's punching more puppets and stabbing them. And you actually hear, as you are punching the wall behind you, Pando jump down and cast a spell with all of these vines coming out of the area. What do you do?
Well, punching that wall really knocked some sense into me. And then I heard also some silly statement about javelins that really set me afire. So I'm turning around.
Okay.
Anybody within 30 feet of me?
Is anyone within 30 feet of you?
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking for an enemy
Just
or
friends.
I'm pretty sure I am.
Friends, who is?
Oh,
Just
friends.
Pando and Valerian, yeah.
Friends. Okay. So actually,
can I do-
all of your friends are within 30 feet of you. I would say, yeah. I'll say for the sake of this, that Kashanon will be as well.
Oh, okay. Oh, great. Wait, so I want to cast Bless.
Okay.
I want to bless all 3 of the ones who are on the bottom of the thing.
How many people can you cast Bless on?
3.
Okay. Dang, at first level, you can cast Bless on 3 people?
That's what it says.
That is incredible. Bless is a crazy good spell. So you're going to cast Bless on these 3.
Oh, wait,
on Vlarin, Pando, and Kashanon. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. You can also move if you'd like, but do you want to explain what Bless does for...
Yeah. Well, so I can bless up to 3 creatures, and whenever you guys make an attack roll or a saving throw before my spell ends, you can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the attack roll or the saving throw. And I think that means you can do it more than once.
Anytime those checks are made.
So I do it every time. That's what I'd say. So I'm gonna move a little bit.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna where's the ladder? How do you guys get down?
The ladder is where Pando is currently.
Blocking it.
I'm gonna like run up over to him to the ledge, but then I'm just gonna crouch down. I'm gonna crouch down, hopefully so they can't hit me again, because I'm a little javelin shy right now.
Okay, if you actually lay prone on the ground, then what that means is that if anybody fires a ranged weapon at you, it's at disadvantage. But if anybody is standing next to you with a melee weapon, they do it with advantage if they hit you.
I'm gonna take my chances.
Okay, so you're gonna lie down. Perfect.
I'm down.
That is, Scott, I'm glad you did that. That's a strategy not a lot of people employ in D&D, but it is something they can do. What you did not see behind Grib earlier is that there's actually one more puppet here that is alive, all of you, and it is going to move up, and that will be its turn. So there's another puppet in play here. Okay, that brings us back around to the top. So that's going to be Grib, who is currently restrained and cannot move from this position. I believe he makes a saving throw at the end, but he actually can attack without moving because he's got a target right in front of him. Kashanon, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, and you can add a d4 if you'd like. Halsdyer, you're on deck.
What do you mean add D4?
For bless. So you roll a d4, you add it to that.
Also.
Are we saying bless? Like,
Yeah, like bless.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
I'm a
We're all
holy.
#blessed now.
So what do I roll first? A 20?
20, yep, and then add your, I believe, a 7 for your
So
dex.
21.
21. Okay. So what you see the mech do is it has the barrel and it brings it up and it crushes it down towards Kashanon. Kashanon, you're able to dodge out of the way, but what has become abundantly clear at this point is that Grib is trying to trap you in a barrel with this. That'll be his turn. He is going to roll, and he does succeed. So you see in that motion, he's able to break free from the vines. It's still difficult terrain for him, but he's no longer restrained. But he is going to stay in that space regardless. Halsdyer, you're up. Harrow, you're on deck.
Well, I've been useless so far in this fight. That's fine. It's not my style. It's I'm not as much an adventurer as I am a con artist. So I'm gonna go ahead and try it again. Aiming for Grib.
Okay.
Stepping out to my usual spot, right there on the ledge.
Okay.
You've got this, Halsdyer.
What was that?
You've got it.
Thanks. I mean, it doesn't really matter if I've got it because it seems like everybody else is pretty easily handling things. But I'm going to go ahead and fire at Grib one more time. And I forgot to ask, do I add anything to my initial throw?
Yeah, you should be adding your dexterity score plus your proficiency. It should be on your character sheet, but my guess for you
if I had to guess, I believe last time I would have hit had I not been an idiot. But my character is distractible, and this is overwhelming. So
okay. So we'll count that here.
No, we don't need to do that.
No, if you forgot to add, we'll do it. That's no problem. So roll this attack here.
Okay. A 4.
Yes.
So an 8 or no, 7 overall.
Oh, 7. Okay, so you would have hit last time. So let's say you hit this time, just to fix that there. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Okie doke. What is my damage? Damage is 1d8 plus 3. Sorry. Oh, 11.
11 points of damage? Okay, so when you fire that bolt, it does not hit Grib, but what you notice it does do is it hits immediately into like some of the essential gears of the mechanism. That was a lot of damage to be done against it, and you see it kind of like seizing up and almost like smoking in the back there. It's still functioning, but you did a lot of damage just then. Harrow, is your turn. Halsdyer, I imagine you move back.
I saw something fun last turn, and I'm going to lay prone right there.
Okay, great. Love it. And then that is Harrow. It's your turn. You notice the mech is smoking and did not capture somebody in a barrel.
Grib, it would have been much simpler if you had succeeded. Sadly, I must waste my divine power on you instead of on me. And he kind of sneaks past here and he whispers and he says, "O great Plunder King, grant this idiot a little bit of a little extra chutzpah," and he will lay on hands on the mech and will heal it for 15 hit points.
Oh, dang. Okay.
He will then, go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, and then he points again at Valerian and says, "If I had seen the trident, I wouldn't have guessed Genasi. Tridents are definitely Triton things, definitely not bad on my part. I challenge you again." And so you have to make another wisdom saving throw.
Plus D4, yeah?
Unfortunately, yes.
22.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, 20. Not natural.
Seems
20.
like you really don't want to fight me. Well, I can understand that. I'm very tough. I move on. And I'm done.
Valerian, you can decide if you are actually compelled to duel him. It seems like you were anyway. What you do see, though, is that there is a holy energy that comes from Harrow. It's kind of a twisted, dark, holy energy. And Kashanon, you've now heard him say Plunder King twice. And when he says this lay on hands, you hear this speech that you understand. And it's this prayer in this vulgar, terrible sounding language. And it's a holy spell that usually heals organic material, but it actually does heal the mech, which is strange. Valerian, you are up. Kashanon, you're on deck.
I would like to. This is the guy who's been. Well, I don't need to be quite that close to him. This is the guy who's been throwing fireballs, yeah?
That's correct, yeah.
And can I fight him without becoming entangled?
You can, yeah. So the vines don't entangle you so much as they're now causing this whole area to be rough terrain.
That's what I mean. I can like stay outside of the rough terrain and smack him.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're in rough terrain, it just takes double your movement to move through it. It doesn't do anything other than that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Then I would like to hit him or pierce him, stab him with my trident.
I believe he's still restrained, so roll at advantage.
What for?
21 to no 20, really high to hit.
Okay.
29.
9. Okay, that usually
29, like 20, 28, 29.
Okay, great. What's the damage?
Damage is I'm so sorry. 6.
6. Okay. So you stab him and he takes a mortal wound. And you know from the goblins you've seen before that he should be on death's door at this point. But because of that spell that was cast on him earlier, he seems to like fight it off. And he is like, he pulls the trident out of him and just like stares at you in the face. Kashanon, you're up.
No, geez.
Pando,
right.
You're on deck.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have to do something to Grib again.
You could move and attack the other goblin, but then he'd get a reaction and an attack of opportunity on you because you moved out of his melee range. So I would say, yeah, in this situation, you would want to attack him.
Okay. Can I use my short sword?
Yeah.
Okay.
You just saw a crossbow did damage. So punching it just hurt your hand because you rolled poorly.
All right.
If you punched better, it might work.
Okay. Can I all right. Can I go sword?
Yep.
Instead? And I got a 14.
Okay.
What do I add to that? Sorry.
7.
21.
Okay, great. So you do hit with the sword and you stab up into the gears of the mech. Again, you don't quite hit Grib, but you do hit the mech pretty well. So roll your damage.
And that's D6?
Yep, and +5. I
can never remember. 11.
Wow. All right. So just after it's healed, it starts to smoke again as you hit it there, and you can punch again for a bonus action.
I hit Zeb, they heal him. I heal the mech, they hit him again. What can I do?
And Kashanon, you're adding a D4 to your hits, yeah?
No.
You should.
Sounds like
Does
she
that
doesn't
make-
need to.
So I just rolled 13, and then do I
To hit?
add? Yeah.
Okay, was that a 13 on the dice?
Yes.
Okay, so you wouldn't need to roll the d4 because you already hit, so the +7. So roll d4 +5.
Gotcha. D4 + 5. 9.
Okay, that's exactly what you needed. So you see, Kashnan, that you, on another show of Dungeons and Dragons, the dungeon master very famously asks, "How would you like to do this at this point? How would you like to describe destroying the mech? Grib is still alive, but how would you like to describe how you destroy the mech? You just stabbed up and into it. How do you want the punch to go?"
The punch. So I'm in the neck area, right?
Okay.
So then the punch should go like under the chin, like
Okay.
right, and then kind of snap his neck back.
Great. Yeah, so the whole upper carriage, you actually kind of sever with the sword stab, like the spine of the creature, and the whole upper carriage of it bends back, so much so that Grib is now like flailing wildly out of it, and you see that he's like unstrapping himself to get out, but he like here's the mech, and he's almost like falling off the back there. Great. That's your turn. Pando, you're up.
Shannon. Woof. All right. What are my options here? Let's see. What should I do?
So you can, you should just have simple attacks that you could.
Okay. Okay. It says I can cast a spell. I could dash.
Yeah, I think you've cast both of your spells at this point already, though.
You're right.
Just
okay.
use your weapon.
What's that?
Use your weapon. Attack someone.
Yeah, you can hit this. You can hit this goblin up here. You can hit Grib. Grib's up in here, but you could. Actually, he's probably on the back now. He'd be pretty difficult to hit.
Okay, how about I try to hit that goblin?
This guy?
Yes.
Sure thing. You'll just walk up, and is that you can be here or here?
I prefer one back.
Great.
Okay. And then do I just use I want to use my short bow.
Okay, so what I would say then is you probably, if you're right next to him, you actually have to fire at disadvantage because you're right next to him. If you want to hit him with the short bow, you could move like up here and then attack from there.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for an attack.
It's a D20.
Yep.
Yes.
Plus a D4.
Oh no.
Plus which one?
Uh-oh.
D4. I don't know that it matters.
Might not matter, unfortunately.
I don't think it matters.
It's pretty low.
It's the lowest.
Oh, you rolled a 1?
I rolled a 1.
Okay. So Pando, actually roll a perception check for me. Roll a D20 and then roll what it says next to your perception score.
Okay, D20 and then my perception is +4.
Okay.
So 8 + 4.
12?
Yes.
Okay. So you start to walk over there, and Pando, what you recognize as you walk over in this area, and this area is revealed, you see like a lush area of vegetation. It's not on the map, but there's like all of this like growth over here that seems to be happening. Also not on the map, but I'll put it on there now. I meant to add this earlier, is this dead goblin. And while you go to fire the bow at the living goblin, you see out of the corner of your eye a little vegetable man pop out of the body of the goblin and just go, "What?" And you were watching that and just fired wide. But you, as a druid, are very taken by this creature. It is like it's a moldy looking man, and he's so small and popped out of the body of a goblin. You don't know if it has anything to do with what's happening right now, but he's cute. And if that's your turn, that brings us to the goblin. Are you good, Panda?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So the goblin is actually going to grab roll an athletics check for me, please, Valerian, or a strength saving throw.
It's a natural 20, so 26, natural 20.
Okay. He goes to grab you. And instead you grab him and just lift him up.
And can I make the same face he made at me earlier?
Oh,
like
yeah,
just
absolutely.
crazy.
But at the same time, he's going to take one of his fire bombs anyway and just light it. You see that they like are kind of like self-lit. So he's kind of up and he flints it. It's firing and he smacks it against his own head. I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage.
I still get +4.
Yep.
Do.
Oh, man. So I would like you to know that my first roll was a natural 20. My actual at disadvantage is math 14.
14? Okay. You still are able to succeed from that. But because it's so close, he blows himself up and he's just blood and guts everywhere and just fiery there.
Oh,
You're
shit.
still going to take half damage for that. But usually fire damage is not reduced for you in raging, but I'm going to allow you to reduce this. It's a 1, so you can anyway. You take 1 point of fire damage as this goblin self-destructed himself onto you. So he did. And that brings us to Zep.
Zep Wild Chaser. Is this mech here, guys? Is that guy still alive?
The mech is dead, but you see a goblin trying to pull himself out of the mech. He's still alive.
I'm gonna throw a javelin at him. I want to get up, throw my javelin, then get right back down.
Okay, great. Do so.
All right. Oh, a natural 20.
Okay. Fun fact.
No chance.
If any of you had rolled a natural 20 while attacking the mech, I was going to have all the damage go to Crib anyway. But now I'm happy Zep did it. So you are going to roll your dice and then double that number and then add your modifier once.
Oh, wait. All right. My javelin, 1d6 plus 3.
So you're just, tell me what you roll on the d6.
3. So
Okay.
6, 9.
9. Okay. So Grib is like fiddling with the straps in there, and the javelin comes down and kind of pins him in the shoulder, and you hear a "Ah!" and his cigar rolls out into his lap and starts to smoke, and he's like, "Ah!" and starts hitting it there. He seems worried, to say the least.
I didn't intend that to be a prank, but it seems very prank-like now.
Yes, indeed. So that is going to be his turn. Give me 1 second. My thing is not loading, so
I would have shouted that out to everybody right now.
Great. Yeah, you absolutely can do that. And you're going to go right back down. You said you're lying down again?
Yeah, I'm going to lie down again and think about my next move.
I enjoy that your fighting style is burpees.
I'm very fit.
Much exertion.
Okay, this puppet is going to move up through the smithereens of the goblin there, kind of like up and under the goblin as it blows up, and is going to attack Valerian. And comically misses. This puppet is almost like a round, like fat little ball. And it's got like 2 little like T-Rex arms, but they're like drills. So it kind of just goes like, then like tries to stab. You look like it would be good at digging, but it's not terribly good at attacking you, and does not do anything. Grib is up now. He is going to use half of his movement to get out of the mech.
And pull that javelin out of his shoulder?
Yeah, so he'll use all of that to get out of the mech. He's going to move over to here, and he will... Let's see, what's you got? He's going to fire his crossbow at Vlarin. Vlarin, that's a 16 to hit.
Does not hit.
Okay, so it just goes directly into the clipboard shield. And then he will cast as a bonus action Expeditious Retreat. And start to... That's about as far as he can move this turn there, but you see he casts a spell on it. You actually wouldn't know it's called Expeditious Retreat, but Harrow, you would know, and it is your turn after Hallsdire. Hallsdire, you're up.
Okay, Hallsdire
Okay.
feels a little better after the last round. He did something useful for the first time in this cave. So he is gonna go ahead and aim at Grib.
Okay.
And
I would say if from this distance the mech is there, he's going to have a little bit of cover there. Not a full 5, but he'll have a little bit of cover there.
a little bit of cover. Okay.
If you move to like here or here, well, actually you're prone, so you have to take half your movement to do that. But if you moved here, you could have a clear shot without.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna go move over to near my buddy Zap.
Right here.
Yeah, whose
Okay.
style I like very much.
Yeah, so you have a cleaner shot here.
Okay, great. I'm gonna go ahead and take my shot from there.
Okay, go ahead and roll for attack.
All right. Not good.
Mm.
Not good. It wasn't a 1. It was a 2.
So yeah, you fire and it just kind of whizzes past up there. You didn't really account for the distance well, so it lands about 5 feet past him there. Unfortunately, Harrow, it's your
Up and
turn.
down campaign.
Blaren, you're up next. Harrow, you're up now.
Oh, Hera, I'm sorry. I thought you said Valerian.
Yeah.
What beautiful work rendered useless. That monk seems to have a penchant for punching. And what is his name? Harrow will run kind of behind the mech, sneak under the legs, and come up to Kashanan here.
Okay.
And he is going to attempt to flail Kashanan. So he kind of rears back with it's like a metal stick with a chain and a giant ball on the end, and he just slams it down at Kashanan. We press the button. 13 against armor class. So, never mind.
So yeah,
Nothing
Kashanan, you definitely have more than a 13. You dodge out of the way there, but you are seeing now full on this creature there, and what you do recognize is that he has an emblem on, and that emblem is like 2 burning red eyes and like a face that the whole bottom of it is just a mass of tentacles that wreath around on this coin. And it immediately fills you in particular with dread. No real thing is going to happen to you because of that, but character-wise, things are going on. Vlarin, you're up. Kashanan, you're on deck.
I have to kill this puppet thing because I can't go anywhere until I kill this puppet thing.
Well, we'll get an attack of opportunity, but...
I'm going to kill the puppet. But
Great.
First, I would like to, in response to self-exploding thing, going to be so grossed out by this later, and then I would like to pierce the thing with my trident.
Great.
With my trident. That is a 22 to hit.
Yep.
And it is 7 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah, so this thing is like coming up to there, and you stab it, and none of the points of the trident actually hit it. It just kind of gets wedged up into the trident itself, and you pick it up and slam it back down, and it just bursts into pieces.
Can I move now?
Yeah.
Are these dudes all puppets, or are they what are
they are all just dead puppets. They're like partially created.
So we've got Grib, who's retreating right now here.
Yep.
And Harrow, who is with Kashanon.
Correct.
I would like to. Can I get past Grib to like try and stand in the way of his escape?
You could get to this position and do that. Yeah.
Then I would like to do that. And I would like to say the party's not, well, I would like to growl, party's not over yet.
Awesome. Dig it. Kashanon, you're up.
All right, I got to attack Harrow here.
Okay. And Pando, you're on deck.
You have to try.
I have to take you down, you terrifying scholar.
Yeah, it's like if a librarian got ripped and slightly goblin-faced.
My worst nightmare. I'm gonna use my sword. So I got 15. What do I add? Sorry, Dexterity. 7. So 22.
Yes, very well. You have attacked me.
Not so many more words anymore, huh?
You seem to have hit my tongue with your amazing accuracy.
How much damage, Kashanon?
Oh, I think 6.
Plus 5 is 11.
No, it was 1 plus 5.
Okay, got it. 6.
Oh, thank God.
All right, and then you can punch. You have bonus action.
Oh, yes.
So it's another 20 plus 7.
Plus a d4 if you want it.
26.
Okay. And then a d4 plus 5.
Right, I see it now.
Spoiler alert. Does not matter.
7.
7. Okay. Harrow, you're stabbed, and then kind of through the gut, and then Kashanon, you're able to kind of go up and grab him under the neck, and as his life expires, or at least he's mortally wounded, he's going to fall to the ground here, but for the sake of the combat, he's dead. But he's not quite dead yet, but you do kind of grasp him there. Is there anything either of you want to say to each other in that moment?
I heard you say Plunder King. I know what you're up to.
I can't talk, you're grabbing my throat.
Tell me your secrets.
Let go of my throat.
I've loosened my fingers ever so slightly. You should be able to talk now.
I don't think you loosened them as much as you think you did. Need I remind you, you have a +7 to fucking everything.
I'll spare your life if you just tell me where the Plunder King is going.
Why don't you toss me on the ground and we can talk about this later?
I think this has taken about 5 of your 6 seconds, so if there's anything else you want to wrap up.
You're useless.
I challenge you to a duel.
Okay, Justin, if you want to stay on the line, I'll let you play Grib for the remainder. I believe you know.
Oh, I'd love to play Grib, yeah.
You know what he's trying to do, yeah?
I do, and you haven't given him a voice yet, so I can't wait to think of one.
Oh, he kind of like talks like this a little bit, but
all right, yeah, sure, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, he's from the Bronx now, or Brooklyn. Love it. Kashanon, that was your turn. Fantastic. Pando, you are up.
I want to javelin at Grib.
Okay, I believe you have a short bow, so you would use that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay, I want a short bow.
Great. Go ahead and roll a d20, and then I believe add 5 for you.
Oh, natural 20.
Okay, fantastic. Well, Justin, this might be short-lived.
This is ridiculous.
Joining. Thanks for guessing.
Ridiculous.
Is that 2 natural 20s against Grib? Poor guy.
I look forward to being narratively interesting in the near future.
Sheila, roll a d6 and then tell me what that, multiply it by 2 and tell me that number.
2.
It was a 1? Okay, so you did 5 damage to him. So I will send Grib's health points to you right now in the chat.
Read my mind, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, great. So you hit him there. Would you like to move?
What's that?
Would you like to move at all?
Would it be? I'm curious about going toward that figure that erupted out towards the greenery.
Yep.
But I don't know if that's stupid. But I kind of want to go in that direction.
If you want to, you can.
Let's do it.
Do it.
If your character would do it, you should do it.
I want to do it.
All right. So you're moving over here?
Yeah.
Okay. What you see, Pando, is that there's a goblin body that's there and kind of like skeletal at this point, and has a bunch of fungus growing in it. One of the little dudes popped out and is making his way and jumping back down into this pit next to him. Okay. And when you look down there, it seems to be a city of little vegetable moldy men all down there. And there's another one about to emerge back up out and kind of looking up at you and goes, "What?" And that's your 6 seconds there. Right. That was Pando. Goblins are dead. Zep, you're up.
Oh, I'm up? Oh, yeah.
Sleepy, Zep?
Is anybody alive right now?
Yeah, Grib is still alive.
Oh, all right. Do I only have 1 javelin, or do I have multiple javelins?
You have multiple javelins.
Oh, well, that's a blessing. Then throw another one.
Okay.
This one at Grib. Or grab.
You can throw one. From that,
you changed my name in Zoom.
We'd be a natural partner. In real life. Too bad you throw stuff at me.
So go ahead and roll for attack.
Yep. Oh, not a d6. Oh, I'm not lucky in this one. I got a 1.
A 1? Okay, so it just and just kind of falls right in front of you.
No!
And it rolls off the cliff, so you can't retrieve it, unfortunately.
A hilarious prank by me. I'm going to go lie down again on this floor.
Okay.
Another rep.
Yeah.
1 every 6 seconds isn't bad for burpee reps. They're hard.
Grib, you're up.
All right. Nuts. This totally not a Genasi lady is blocking my escape route. Beans.
So you remember that you have Expeditious Retreat up, which means that you can take the dash action
nice.
as your bonus action.
It's almost like I read Harrow's character sheet more closely than Grib's.
And
Zoom.
Goblins also get nimble escape, so you can run past her without provoking an attack of opportunity. Sorry, Blair.
And I will rely on that particular aspect of my, upbringing. But then subsequently, I'm pulling out one of these itty-bitty crossbows, and I'm going to rattle it back, and I'm going to shoot a bolt at Valerian.
Okay.
And that would be 1d20 plus 5. Unfortunately, all this running has made me tired, so it's only a 7 versus armor class.
Okay. 7, I'm sure, does not hit. Is that correct, Valerian?
Does not hit.
Okay.
No harm, no foul, right? And he's done.
Well, actually, you can go 30 more feet.
Oh, dang. Well, I stopped because I ran out of map.
Yeah, so we're going to say he runs through there.
Okay. Look at me.
Yeah, so he is off the map at the moment. All right.
Now he's on the map. Now he's off the map. Now he's on the map.
We're gonna stay in initiative order just for a second here to see if anybody wants to do anything to pursue. Halsdyer, you're up. Then it's Harrow, who's dead or dying. So it'll be Halsdyer, Vlarin, and Kashanon are in that order. Halsdyer, do you want to do anything? You're muted. Classic Zoom.
Classic
I
Halsdyer.
was farting. I honestly, I think I'm just gonna. From where's my angle here? I think I've noticed what's going on with Pando over there.
Yep.
And frankly, I don't feel I've been very good at doing anything as far as combat. So I'm sort of like, wonder what Panda's checking out. And I just want to go over there.
Okay. You would have to go down the ladder, so I would say you could get about this far at the moment.
Okay, that's where I am.
Okay. Harrow, we'll get to you in a second. Vlarin, do you want to do anything?
If possible, I would like to run my distance and throw a javelin or throw a javelin. Is that still an option, or is he just totally out of my sight?
Yeah, so you run your distance down here, and in fact, what you see in front of you is this. Roll a perception check for me.
And that is not, sorry.
Yeah, you can't use bless on that.
I'm 20, not natural.
20?
Yeah, not natural.
You notice right here a small little hole in the wall there. And just barely you can see like the little feet of a goblin squirming away. I would say that you can have an attack at disadvantage to try to throw a javelin in there, but you have moved your full movement at this point.
So I can't grapple.
You can't grapple, and you are much too large to try to fit into that hole.
Okay, so I am throwing a javelin at disadvantage.
Yep.
Sorry, it's been a day. 23 to hit.
At disadvantage?
Yeah, I had a 13 and a 15, plus I rolled a 4 on the bless.
Okay, roll
that
for
hits
damage.
His feet. Jesus Christ.
Oh, well, it's a 5 worth of damage.
Ha ha!
Okay.
Because I rolled a 1 on that.
You throw the javelin in, and it actually makes the tunnel itself collapse. You kind of like hit the side of it, and like a rock bungles off to the side there. You hear a scream, and then you hear a little bit more movement. And you think that you did some damage, but not quite enough.
I would just like to yell, just like guttural. And I would like to just, it's rude to leave without saying goodbye.
Great. So what I would say is that we are at about 9:45. I imagine we're going to want to try to wrap up in the next few. We don't have to move you guys on the map or anything like that, but if you want to take a minute to kind of just, as a party, come back together after this fight and talk where you are, we'll do that, but we won't get into anything new tonight, just as a heads up.
Nice. I'm still going to continue.
Harrow,
walking.
I'm sorry, is still barely alive.
Grib is still barely alive?
Harrow.
Harrow. Right.
Remember your names.
I'm going over to Pando and checking out what Pando sees, kind of ignoring the whole situation with Harrow and Grib.
Okay. Pando and
Can I
Hallstein.
check? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, let me do Pando and Hallstein real quick, and then I'll go to you, Cashinon. Pando and Hallstein, you see a bunch of little people in this big old area here. It is just like an entire city of little moldy looking people, all just hanging around. Hold on, I can show you a picture of them.
Please.
Oh, fun.
But if you accidentally see what they're called, forget it. They're these guys.
Oh,
Oh,
The hell
So
is
cool.
going on here?
Yeah. And they're all just like, there's a nice little city. The one that kind of looked at you just was like, what? And like kind of looked and then immediately looked away and just marches himself over and hops off the cliff and just like flies. And you notice he kind of just like floats down. They're very tiny and there's just a whole village, a little moldy people living, and they're just kind of doing their thing, not really paying attention to you.
Do you know what these things are, Pando?
I can't be entirely sure, but I knew there was another world outside of the one we were in right now. I knew there was more to the picture.
I mean, I feel like this world's in our world, but I get what you mean, yeah.
But it's kind of like how the forest is its own world within a world. You know what I mean? Like the roots that go deep. These are the roots.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, maybe.
You seem nervous.
No, well, honestly, this is my first big fight inside a cave. And I'll say that I'm afraid that anything in this cave could potentially kill us, and almost did. Remember? Zap almost died, and he was just trying to have a prank.
It's Zap.
Just
Zap.
like in the forest.
I'm calling you Zap because I'm not too familiar with you yet.
Just like in the forest, death creates more life.
Well, I hope that that's not an attitude you're bringing into battles with you. Anyway, that's all.
Anyway,
Great. Cashinon, you had some business with Harrow.
Yeah, does Harrow have anything on him that I want to steal or inspect or take or anything?
The last scrap of life might be one thing before you start looting his corpse.
You can't have it.
So I would say functionally we are keeping Harrow alive here for any narrative moments that are going to happen. He is beyond healing, and the character is essentially dead. But if there's anything that you would want to say in the last moments of life, you are able to do that. Or do. So Zep, you're welcome to come over there as well. Again, we don't have to worry about the map at this point. In fact, I'll switch screens for the audience here. Back to us.
Yeah, I'd like to come over to him too.
And then Valerian, you can make your way back too.
I just want to tell him that we won't let him get away with it.
I'm sorry, Carrie, go ahead, and then Valerian.
Oh, I just want to say to Harrow that we won't let you get away with this.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, sorry, I'm out of order.
You can go, Zep.
No, speak, tiny javelin man.
I want to point at what's her name, Harrow's shirt, and be like, "Oh, what's that you got right there on your shirt?"
My emblem, two flaming eyes with tentacles below it.
And then I'm gonna hit him in the face because it was a little prank.
What is it you're hitting me with?
That's my finger. I hit you in the face.
Is that an unarmed strike?
No, it was light.
You would hit a hobgoblin while he's down? That's not terribly gentlemanly of you.
Oh, that's Zep Wild Chaser.
Just tell me one thing, and I'll tell you everything I know. Did Grib escape?
I don't know. You know, Cash or not, I missed it.
Yes. Now tell us everything you know.
Oh, thank goodness. I really hate that guy, but it was my duty to protect him, so it feels good that he escaped. I will die with a satisfied, yet wistful smirk on my face.
Why is that?
Why did you hate him? Don't go.
No, I'm not dead yet. Sorry. You have a moment. Why did I hate him? Why does anyone hate their superior officer? Negligence, intolerance, a general lack of abilities, but the man knows how to mech.
Zep, you would recognize here that it's odd that knowing Goblin and being able to speak Goblin, you know a fair amount about goblins. Goblins themselves are the lowest on the goblin family food chain. For a hobgoblin, the top commanders, to be saying that goblin, Grib, was his superior is odd.
Hera, Glib seems like dumb. He's like Dumbo. And I don't understand why you follow him. Why do you follow him?
He has what my lord needs. I am good at many things, commanding vast truths, coming up with stratagems unknown to human races and whatnot, but Grib has talents with things that I cannot surpass, and things are what my lord needs right now.
A two-part question.
Anyone else have any questions? Going once, going twice.
Hurry, Zep, hurry! He's literally dying.
Who is your lord, and why does he need these fancy thingamajig talents?
Well, I wasn't going to answer that particular question, but you did hit me in the face with your finger, so I guess I really don't have a choice. My lord, my beautiful undead lord, is none other than Vincent Lacklear himself. Surely you've heard of him. Surely.
Neither of you have heard of him.
Right now, my majestic lord happens to find himself in a state without corporeal form. And while I would happily give my hobgoblin body to him, Vincent prefers something in the more mechanical methodology, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, I get it, but if you wanted to go into more detail.
Well, you see, quick, is your name Zep?
Yeah, it's Zep.
If you don't mind, could you flick your finger on my face again? It'll shock me awake.
I'm gonna give him a what do they call it?
No, not a wet willy. That's not what I want. Or as we in the goblin community call it, a wet Carl. Don't do it.
No, I already did it.
Okay. You see, Vincent is what is known by you all as a deathlock, a sort of incorporeal sorcerer bound to no physical manifestation. And he has grand ambitions as part of what inured me to him in the first place, but I cannot create the body he craves. Grib, on the other hand, he's got some skill with a hammer and a piece of steel plate, if you know what I mean. And again, if I'm not being particularly clear, I can go into more maybe explicit factual detail.
Harrow, I would say that you're just about at the end of your life here. If you guys, Cashinon in particular, if you have any last questions for him, this would be your chance.
Where is he? Where are they? Where do we go?
Harrow, with his final action, points in the direction that Danny says he should point, and then dies.
It's deeper into the cave, and he falls dead. Oh, rip camera. That was some good production quality.
Harrow, no! I'm gonna give him a noogie to see if that wakes him up.
It does not.
What did you call that? We don't call that a noogie in my community. We call it and he dies again.
Oh, so close, Seth. So close.
Okay.
That's the true cliffhanger.
Vlaren, last word, and then we're gonna wrap up tonight.
So Vlaren, as her 6 seconds fade and she loses her rage, starts just muttering like, oh, it's so rude to leave before, and is like fixing her hair. And very upset about her clipboard. He put the javelin in my clipboard, and now I'm not going to remember. And I would like to walk towards the water, and assuming, and we don't have to go into this, but assuming that the water is not like immediately, as someone who knows water, like poisonous or whatever, I would like to start using the water to like be fixing my hair. And I'm just like very upset that that Grib would escape again, and I'm just like dipping on about it.
Is this the water that Pando and I are at?
No, on the opposite side of the map.
Oh, okay. I was about to be like, don't do that.
What you immediately realize, Vlaren, looking into the water to calm yourself down at the bottom of the water is a slight glimmer of what appears to be treasure. The only problem is, between you and the treasure is a huge swarm of biting fish, which you would know to be quippers. And that is where we will end tonight's game. Yay! Thank you, Justin Eifert, for being here as a guest. Wonderfully done. Beautifully done. Oh, claps from Zep. Love it.
Portrayal.
Love it.
Ooh, look at that. I didn't even know that was a feature. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great. You can say go slower too, I think.
That's what you all wanted to say during that monologue. And then,
we're going to wrap up here tonight, and I'm going to take the stream off in just a second. But thank you, guys. This was so much fun. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for looking at the first live episode of Just Roll With It. Maybe I'll publish the 2 you haven't seen, but you can go back and look at episode 1. And we'll make our way into figuring out streaming, learning D&D. Great job to our first timers. Pando, your first ever combat. Woo! Great job, Sheila. Well done there. But thanks for Just Roll With It. Thanks for being here. Wash your hands. Stay at home. Do the best thing for everybody. I'm going to just keep babbling. There it is. I'm going to end the stream now. Everybody say bye-bye.
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 Bye.